May 14th, 2026 to order and declare a quorum. We got three members not here, Debbie Steele, Bobby Love, and Jacob Cotton. We'd like to ask Miss Farah if she'll do the invocation and pledge, please.
Father, we just thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight again. And I just ask that you would watch over our district, bless our people, our community, God, our teachers, and all of our staff. I ask that you would lead us with wisdom and help us to have understanding today. And I ask that you would just keep your hand on us. And I thank you for all that you do. In Jesus' name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank y'all. All right, we have one person signed up to speak, Miss Heather Williams.
Sir, we're doing that first. We're doing recognition first.
Well,
That's up to you.
we can.
It's only 3 minutes.
Yeah, you only got 3 minutes, so
That's fine.
rock out.
Oh, we don't have my podium in here today. I feel
Yeah.
empty. Is that all right if I stand over here? I'm going to lean up against
You make it
something.
sound like you're a regular or something.
Yeah.
I tend to be sometimes. I mean, this year I had to be. I'm ready for y'all to start my clock whenever.
You and Carrie? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, 6:32.
All righty.
Yeah.
Ask more questions, please, 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 is what I'm asking you. I need y'all to ask more questions. I'm out asking questions, and there's thing here and there I'm hearing, and I'm like, hey, ask questions. A lot of times, way too often, things are presented to y'all one way and executed a totally different way. So let's make sure that we're asking questions. So like if we give power to hire off to certain people, then, sorry, I'm just going to say it. Why is there a coach that was involved in a brawl with the HD Burkeville kids, shaking hands with our kids, telling them he'll see them at practice? Because I'm personally not okay with that. Why is that happening? Why was my kid supposed to be here to be recognized for 2 events tonight, but she's only being recognized for 1? That event also has kids that are cross-centered and other things that are going on. So why is a team that made history not here? Ask questions, ask questions. Are we still coddling teachers? Now, I have no problem with growing teachers. The school has grown me as a volunteer for years under Pete. But are we coddling them? Because if we're coddling them, what is that saying to the other teachers that have done what they needed to do, and we coddle others that maybe don't? Ask questions. Please ask questions. Why are we putting a stop to things? And when I ask questions, sometimes I get answers, sometimes I don't. Sometimes the answers may be BS, sometimes they may not be. If monetary is an issue for one area, and so we're executing control, then why is it okay for mamas to sell t-shirts and make monetary off the school? Make it make sense, guys. Ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. Please ask questions. Sorry, I'm shaking because I'm a little nervous. I'm doing a little calling out, and I'm trying not to.
You got a minute left.
Yes, sir. If somebody can claim an accomplishment that my child has done that was something great, qualified twice to state athletics and academics, if somebody can claim that on their resume because they coached her and they moved forward, ask them how they celebrated it. Ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. Of course, the transport to Carson Henry's daddy's funeral touched my heart. I was Carson Henry's daddy. My daddy died in high school. I know who set it up. Ask questions. Who brought the idea? Who pushed for it? Ask questions, ask questions. If I need to make a PTO complaint over the daddy-daughter dance, who can I complain to? Where can I file that? Ask questions, ask questions. Why are we moving band from first period if it's been there for 4 years and it's been fine? That's 6 grade levels we're dealing with. We're going to put junior high athletics there, that's 2. Ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. if we're going to be setting up
10
for,
seconds left.
yes, sir, if we're gonna be setting, thank you, if we're gonna be setting up for greatness, ask questions. Please ask questions. If we split athletics, 8th period athletics keeps them from missing as much class. Why are we going to have teachers crossing lines between elementary and secondary? Ask questions, ask questions,
Time is
ask
up.
questions. Don't let people abuse power. Thank you.
Thank you, Seth.
Recognition.
Yeah. Okay, now we'll do the student recognition. Somebody grab them.
So this is Malcolm Duke. He was one of our pre-K students of the month from the past couple of months. So he is our only friend in pre-K who was able to join us tonight, but we wanted to bring him in and let y'all congratulate him.
Good job, brother.
Oh, man.
Good job.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Good job.
Anybody, I want to give this to you, okay?
He did a great
All
job.
right.
Thanks for
Good job, Malcolm. Oh, man. You got me. Oh, come on, Mal. There you go.
Keep running.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Right.
Hello, beautiful.
So these are our two kindergartners who were able to make it. This is Travis Saavedra and Kennedy Taylor. They were two of our kindergarten students of the month from the past 3 months.
Hey, good job.
Thank you, Layla.
All right. Good job.
Hey, good job, buddy. Hey,
So proud.
who's doing those?
Good job.
All right. You gonna shake Miss Ferris' hand? Hey, good job.
You guys stand right here.
There you go.
Okay, turn around.
Look, Chubby. Show me what you got.
Turn around. Show Mom your tokens. There we go. Okay, turn around, Kennedy. Okay, now look and smile. 1, 2, 3, cheers. Good job.
Right.
Thanks for coming.
Okay, I'm gonna walk right now. Great job, guys. First grade. Okay.
Let's see Paul's.
Hello.
JJ, come stand by Brittany. Emma, stand by JJ.
Hey, guys.
Okay, so these are our 4 first graders able to make it tonight. This is Hayes Pepis, Brentley Murphy, JJ Stevens, and Emma Atkinson. They were first grade students of the month from the past 3 months.
Hey, good job. Hey, I like that haircut. Everybody, everybody. Hey,
Better watch this.
there you go. This a bit hard one? Uh-oh. Oh, man. Oh, that was a little, there you go. Hey, how about one of those?
It was vicious.
All right.
Yeah, they talked about
My thumb touched it.
Okay, y'all turn around and smile.
All right.
1, 2, 3, cheese. Thank you guys for coming.
Good job, baby.
Come on, please. Do we have a time? Madison. Okay. Gray wants to come on in, they can, but she's not by herself. Come on, Dorothy. Darcy and Mariah, you want to come on in?
Yeah, she said third grade cookie.
You're all right, girlfriend, come on.
We don't want to leave Madison all by her lonesome. Mariah, you want to come on in?
Hey, Darcy.
You're good, you're good.
Okay. So this is Madison. She is our only second grader able to make it with us tonight. She was one of our students of the month from second grade. Then we have Barrett Price, Darcy Beatty, and Mariah Gray. They're all from third grade, and they're one of our students of the month for the past 3 months.
All right. There you go. Okay, high five. There you go. Grace, good job. Good job. There you go.
Turn around, look right here. One, two, three.
Right. Good job, guys.
Great job, great job.
Up and down. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, come on. Okay, fourth grade. These are our fourth graders. They were able to join us this evening. We have Hadley Lambeth, Colton Turner, Rosie Mosley, and Elena Greenwood. They're some of our students of the month from fourth grade from the past 3 months.
Well, guys, great job. Great job.
Mr. McKay's going to give y'all a token, and we're going to turn around and take a picture.
High five. How about token? High five. Token. High five. Token. High five. Token. Really good job, guys.
Y'all come stand back against this and face out that way.
Wait.
We're going to look and smile. Right here. 1, 2, 3. Thank y'all, moms and dads, for bringing
Thank
them.
y'all.
Appreciate y'all. Reagan, Emily. These 2 young ladies are. Okay. These 2 young ladies are 2 of our 5th graders from the past 3 months who have been student of the month. We have Miss Emily Whittington and Miss Reagan Taylor.
Good job, Larry.
Start over here with Mr. Campbell, and then Mr. McKay will give y'all a token.
Hey, congratulations.
Okay, Emily, y'all stay
Token
right
for you.
there. We're gonna turn around and take a picture.
Token. Handshake. Right.
Stay there in front of Mr. McKay.
There we go. They're excited.
So excited.
And unfortunately, none of our 6th graders can make it, so that concludes our portion of the evening. Thank you all, mom and dad, for joining them.
Congratulations, girl.
Thank y'all.
Right. Just see what she looks like that little baby walking in here, and here she is.
Done grew up.
All right, so we're kicking off secondary with some of our senior class officers who are available, and I'm gonna let them have the floor.
I'm Alana Patton. I'm the Vice President of the senior class. On behalf of the class of 2026, we would like to warmly invite you to attend our graduation ceremony as we celebrate this important milestone in our lives. Your support, leadership, and dedication to our school community has helped guide us through our educational journey, and we would be honored to have you join us in this special occasion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ma'am.
You're welcome.
We can leave the other ones right here if you want
Oh,
to.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, Victor. Okay.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yes, they do.
I got you. I got you. Oh, y'all speak up in here. So we brought our performers, our theater and debate kids overlap quite a bit. We have a few that do one, but most of them do both. We had a pretty good theater season this year. We won by district. We're by district champions. And we are alternate to state. Two of the judges advanced us and one judge didn't. So I think you need to go down a level. To regionals. Alternate to regionals. So we almost made regionals. We were very close. We had at district, almost every single member of our cast won an award. At area, we had several awards, and we have Reagan was best performer at area. Reagan was best performer at district and by district. So we had a lot, and Brad didn't have a single line, and I think he was honorable mention twice without a single line.
That's talent right there.
I'm telling you.
It was an awesome play, guys.
He rocked it. So we're on the hunt right now for a play for next year. So we're already gearing up for that. And then I have Trista that is going to be competing at state this next week in prose. And then for my prose and poetry kids, we had 6 kids that competed at district. 5 of them advanced to regionals. I had 2 in finals at regionals. I had a 4th place, and our regional champion is right here in front of you. So she won, and she'll be representing us on Monday and Tuesday. Hopefully coming back with a state medal. 100%. 100%.
So we met in the fall and talked about our results then. I really wanted to focus on how we can do well in the spring. That's really what the entire year culminates for is that run from district to region, state, seeing how far we can climb. When it comes to district, there's 5 speech events, right? Top 3 get out to regionals, so 15 total kids can get out. For district, we took 14 of those 15 slots, right? Only one other school was able to get a kid through, right?
We didn't like it.
And that's like something, usually you'd see the kids excited about that. That's what we do every year, right? That's our expectations. When it comes to regionals, regionals was hit or miss in some areas, but overall was a very good experience. Out of those 5 events, 4 of them we were regional champions in, right? And then we got out of those 15 slots, still 7 of those belonged to West Hardin going to state. When we looked at in district, when it came to persuasive speaking, we had in 3rd place Hunter Dodson, 2nd place Taylor Stanley, 1st place in district champion Liam Trousdale. In informative speaking, 3rd place was Adam Al-Busaidi, 2nd place Parker Lambeth, district champion was Bradley Chesson. For LD debate, 3rd place was Taylor Stanley, 2nd place Bradley Chesson, district champion was Liam Trousdale. Then, plus Mom already talked about prose and poetry. Mm-hmm. Then moving on to regionals, in those same three events that I talked about, we got every single one of those kids in the 3 events I just mentioned, persuasive speaking, informative speaking, and LD debate, out to the next level of the regional competition, right? Not everyone got to state, but they all made it past that preliminary stages into what we call the out rounds, those little playoffs to make state. For informative speaking, in 6th place at regionals, we had Adam Al-Busaidi. In 3rd place in advancing to state for the first time in his career, Parker Lambeth. And your regional champion for informative speaking was Bradley Chesson.
Bradley?
In persuasive speaking, we had in 5th place Hunter Dodson, and your regional champion was Liam Trousdale. Both not able to be here because spring league basketball is going on, right? And then in LD debate, I think it's the first time we've done it in our school's history. There's a lot of times we've gotten 2 of the 3 slots out to state for that. I believe this was the first time that we swept all 3 spots at region, right? So that means a lot of the times it's really tough because in LD debate, there's 24 kids at region. They break the top 8 to the next, to like the actual like do or die rounds. Lose, you're out. And then if you lose in quarters, you're done. If you lose in the semifinals with the last 4 kids, you get a chance to debate for third. But a lot of those kids get knocked out in that first round, and it's really hard, especially depending on where you get matched up. When it came to it, Taylor Stanley won the 3rd place debate and is going to state for the first time in her career. In 2nd place was Bradley Chesson, who only got 2nd place because he lost to the regional champion, which was Liam Trousdale. Right? Liam's going back, hoping to get his back-to-back state championships in that event. Right? So it's looking like when we got 2nd overall as for a regional speech team, barely losing out to Mason, who's really our top competition in that region year in, year out. We alternate and swap that regional title.
Flip-flop it every year.
Right? So when it comes to it, with 4 of the 5 events being regional champions, we're hoping to have a strong state meet and be able to, at some point, come back and recognize those kids again for y'all.
That's awesome. Great job, guys. Great job.
And so Miss Rose sent this in. She also wasn't able to be here tonight, but she coached a lot of these kiddos in Miss Whittington. So I'm gonna go kid by kid because that's how she sent me the information. Bella Skinner competed in feature writing, winning 5th place in district. News writing, winning 4th place in district as an alternate to regionals. And headline writing with 3rd place in district, 4th place in the region, and an alternate to. Oh, that cut off state. Yeah, okay. Sorry, it cut off. I thought I knew that, but we have a lot of kids who are amazing. Kaylee Williams competed in news writing and editorial writing, winning 6th place in both of those events in district. Emmeline Rose was 4th place in district in feature writing and an alternate to regionals, as well as 5th place in news writing in district. And a lot of these were woven in between all the other things. So also props to Miss Rose for her coaching in that area. In our science, I am amazed because none of this makes any sense to me. But we had Riley Holmes place 6th place in science and 2nd place in physics, and Ava Messer was 2nd place in chemistry. And while we're bragging on our kids, I want to brag on our amazing UIL coaches as well.
Thank you guys for
Good
the support. We
job.
really appreciate it.
All right, we gotta shake some hands.
Take the
Come on.
round, Reagan. Start off.
Reagan, you never too old for a chip. Great job. You look wonderful. Great job. Great job. Great job, man. I love your role. I hope you know that. Hey, go kick some butt.
I will, don't worry.
All right. Hey, good job, buddy. I like the jacket.
Yeah.
Hey, you did a great job. Good job.
Appreciate y'all.
Oh, that way.
As always, thank you for y'all.
You ever get in here? Come on.
All the tall kids.
There you go.
Oh, do I have to do the children first? 1, 2, 3.
All right. Good job, guys. It was a pleasure watching that play.
Keys. Y'all need them.
I think that's it. Is that it?
All right. Number 4, we need to consider a motion to approve the minutes of our previous meeting.
I make a motion.
Who seconded?
Forgot nobody else is here.
Nobody else. Motion made by Ms. Shirley, seconded by Mr. Campbell. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. We did student recognition. All right, number 6, discuss possible action to approve Ideal Impact Services Agreement. Mr. McCabe.
Okay, so I'm sorry. Your name is again? Noah. So we have David and Noah. Noah's going to talk to us a little bit about Ideal Impact and what it does for us. At first, I'll be honest with you, I was kind of skeptical because of some of the stuff that West Hardin's been through in the past. Had a chance to talk with David quite a bit, and being somebody who is very familiar with what this has to offer, we brought in Dwight, and Dwight sat there and listened to what David had to say, and then we did a needs assessment and figured out that we can really save a lot of money with the with what they're offering. Okay, and the best part about it is it costs nothing. Okay, and what they're giving us is almost like a philanthropic kind of a duty, right? But and then the savings that we accumulate, we kind of split into what we get to have, what gets recouped back to Ideal Impact until they recoup what they have invested in us. And then we get the savings and we get a much more comfortable building, in the process. So, Noah, you want to show us what it's all about?
You summarized a lot of it right there, so I'll try to be as quick as I can. It's a couple months of research, and I'm going to try to show you guys just what we found at the buildings and how much we think we can save and what we're doing. So I'm going to try not to talk too fast and condense a lot. If you got questions, just interrupt me. Really quickly on our background, you mentioned the philanthropy side of it. The guy who founded this, his name is Wes McDaniel. He had started it first for Christian Ministries, so we didn't used to work with school districts at all. He had founded it back in 2009, and the reason is he had been in the energy world for three and a half decades before starting this, and then in the middle of the 08-09 recession, felt like God had called him to quit and give back for the rest of his career. And it wasn't a small choice. He was helping lead a $30 billion firm at that time, and just felt like God had said, quit and give back. So that's what he did and started Ideal Impact. Our goal was $1 billion for Christian ministry, and we met that goal. We partnered with about 700 churches when we met that goal. Those are all the red dots kind of in Texas. And when you meet a goal, just kind of decide what to do next. We felt like adding a zero and just keep going. And we just had a lot of church elders on their school boards. So they said, hey, help our church a lot. Would you be willing to help our school? I don't know if y'all realize how much schools need money too. And most schools in Texas right now are running or proposing deficit budgets is the truth. Everyone's hurting for money, and it's not getting better is what it seems like. And so our goal now is 10 billion, trying to do 10 billion for education and ministry, and we do it through energy savings. I'll give you the breakdown. The idea is, what do you have? How do we use it as best as we can? That's essentially what our purpose is. It's not focused on new HVAC units. It's not focused on replacing lights and boilers and chillers and things like that, which y'all of course don't have out here, but that kind of stuff. We've created 300 plus technologies that didn't exist in 2009. So it's about picking and choosing those and then seeing which ones we can help our school with in a way that's no upfront cost and pays back in a couple of years. One of the big things, just high level before I break it all down, humidity is a big part of this. And a lot of what I'm going to talk about is going to revolve around humidity because it makes us all way more comfortable if you can manage the humidity. And I know this really well because my wife's about a foot shorter than me, and so we have very different temperatures that we like in our house. I like it cool, she likes it warm, and if it's good humid temperature, then often we're both comfortable in the low 70s, and if it's not, then neither of us are comfortable. It doesn't really matter where you put it. And it saves a lot of money too when you manage the humidity. Most people know the comfort side. They don't realize how much of your utilities come from humid buildings and not managing it in the most efficient way. And when we got started, there was no really good way to manage it. So that's a big part of what we had to create was technology for doing that. So these are schools. I'm going to show you your numbers in just a second. The brief version of this is that this is energy consumption per square foot of the buildings. That's what the numbers mean. If you're in the low to mid 40s, you're considered pretty high tier as far as energy output. Like if you replaced all your equipment, best control system in the world, all your lighting was new, they'd expect you to be in the mid 40s. And that's where a lot of the schools we work with already got there, and we take them lower. So most people, we get to the 20s, some of them the low 30s. They weren't doing wrong stuff before, just like y'all aren't doing wrong stuff now. It's just technology that didn't exist until we started creating it. That's really why we can do this. Fronting the cost of the project, and that's a big part of this. Unfortunately, it's technically not free. Nothing really is, but it's no money in the budget, no upfront cost. It gets paid for completely out of the savings as they actually get cut off the bill. It's not upfront money. You don't have to find a way to fit it into the budget. we had to do that for churches because they couldn't afford it. I mean, most of them, even if it would pay in 2-3 years, they didn't have the money up front to put towards something like that. So we had to come up with a model where it was financially risk-free and they didn't have to take money out of the budget. So that's all what I'm going to walk y'all through. Like you mentioned, we had a whole team that came out here and looked at everything. So this is what y'all are spending right now, $126,000. There's 3 categories that you spend on. Electric consumption is in yellow here. Gas consumption is in green. Those work pretty much like your house. You get a rate and you multiply it by your usage when you flip a light switch on or a heater or anything like that. A lot of people don't know about this middle charge, the blue one. It's called demand. And the reason why is because we don't get charged for it on our homes. Residential houses, they just have consumption. Demand is taking each meter and saying what was the highest 15-minute period in the last roughly 30 days, last billing period, the highest 15 minutes where you used the most energy at one time. So like if you drove your car, what was the highest mile per hour you went? And they charge you dollars, not cents. So it's $9.50 per kilowatt versus a couple of cents per kilowatt hour. It's over a third of your bill is from 15-minute periods every single month. That's a lot of money for a small portion. And when we got started, we realized nobody had the technology to manage demand well. I mean, there's 3,000 15-minute periods every month, give or take. You miss one, and now you're paying, the entire month because of that one 15-minute period. So we had to create stuff to get them all 3,000 of them down as low as humanly possible. And that's some of what I'm gonna walk you through. So this is where y'all are at right now, 32.9. We don't see a lot of schools in the 30s, is the truth. I mean, y'all have done a really good job out here with what you got. And so we're looking to take you into the 20s. The dollars I'm going to show you, based on 27.1, you'll notice that's higher than all these other schools. It's just because we prefer to be conservative with our numbers. We'd rather beat them than fall behind them. And so none of those schools, we didn't project them all to get where they did. They just did better and partnered with us really well. And so they got even lower than we had expected. And the dollars I'm going to show you on the next slide is just the bills. It's the utilities. When the meter clicks on, that determines what you pay. The bill that comes in the mail is from the meter. That's all we track. We don't track any other kind of savings because we don't know how to do it accurately. We do know they're there. I mean, if you drove your truck 33,000 miles versus 27,000 miles, the wear and tear goes down, it lasts longer. Same thing happens with HVAC. But there's no way for me to tell you how much longer. Was it 3 months or 6 months or 2 years or 4 years? There's just no way of knowing. We did have one superintendent. Y'all might know his name, Daniel Fuller. He was over at Stockdale and then Sweeney. He's up in West Texas now. We partnered with him at Stockdale in 2017, and he just told us last year that most of the units they were being told needed to be replaced 9 years ago in 2017 are still running because of the optimizations we did. When you cut usage and peaks and humidity down, it was like I was about to spend $2 million we didn't have on new equipment, and y'all told us we didn't have to. We could make them last longer, and that's not a promise that everything's going to last 9 years longer. That's just what he told us, and it's a real amount of money. We just can't track it, so it's gravy on top for y'all that you'd see in your budget. So here's the savings. We always give 2 numbers. It's the same project. This is just like a B- level of achievement. It's a really conservative number. This is the A- level, and we're trying to be over here. So, because y'all are so low, y'all are on the lower end as far as savings. We usually don't partner with people if they can't save at least 20% on their bill, just because it often can't pay for itself very quickly. And that's our mission, is to do this quickly. But y'all fit. I mean, 21%, 26 grand less than you're spending right now. I think we can cut off the bill. Just counting utilities, not counting humidity benefits and cutting on maintenance and service costs and all that kind of stuff. But that's just the dollars on the utilities. It's over $500,000 y'all would have spent on utilities over the next 15 years. I mean, you could use it for anything. It's just money you didn't send to the utility provider. So wherever y'all want to put it, that's where it can go. And this is our model. We came up with it for churches. It's called 80/20. We essentially cover all of the costs up front, and y'all would just take whatever you save. I'm going to assume the committed number because that's where most people sit, but this number could be down, it could be up, it would change. You pay 80% of whatever you save until this number is paid off. So this is what it costs us to come in and implement everything I'm about to show you, do all the improvements, generate the savings. Y'all just pay 80% of what you already would have sent to the utility provider, but you didn't have to anymore, to paying off our investment, and y'all keep 20% from the start. I know $5 grand is probably not life-changing for the school, but it's $5 grand less than you're paying right now, even while the project is being You're like, I could use $5,000 for
We'll
something.
take
We'll take anything. So it's just something at the start, and every dollar makes a difference. Y'all would get 100% of the savings when it's paid off. So this is just the short term, it's a little less, and the long term, it's a lot less. And that's how we can do this financially risk-free, no money up front in the budget. It's why we structured it the way that we did. I don't know what's in this bucket, additional savings and benefits. Most people tell us they think they saved, as much as the bills on the service costs and equipment lasting longer. And I don't know how you quantify comfort. I've experienced it. I used to teach when I was in school. That was how I paid my way through college, was teaching in public schools. And I know what it's like to be in a room full of elementary or middle schoolers, and they are hot and running around and sweating and all that. And so it makes a difference when you manage the humidity and the comfort. And we've had schools tell us, we had one principal like, hey, our lost and found was this big before, and now it's like this big because the temperature was more consistent. Kids weren't taking sweaters and jackets on and off and leaving them everywhere. We had one school say, we struggle with mold and mildew every summer. Facilities director who had been there 27 years said every summer I remediate for mold and mildew while the kids are out, and that's my job. He was like, after your project was the first summer, we didn't have to do any of that. And it was, that's time savings, headache savings, all kinds of stuff. We know it happens. I just don't know how to track it. So there's no point in trying to charge you for it. It's just gravy on top for you guys. So $500,000. That's conservatively what I think we could do. The project will be paid off a lot faster than 15 years. If you just divided this by that, it'd be about 5.5. Could be a little faster, could take a little bit longer. The goal is to do it really quickly. And then everything else, y'all would just get all of the savings after that. So let me walk you through what we're actually doing out here, how we're going to get the savings. It's a lot of technology that we've created is probably the biggest portion of it. And then, so it'll look like a lot of bullet points, but I'm going to move pretty quickly, and you can just let me know if I need to stop at some point. I kind of skipped that one. It's mostly rhetorical. Just the guys that we've got coming out here. The guy who started at Wes is, philanthropic was a great word. Not only one of the nicest, just most genuine people I know, but one of the smartest too. He was like raised for this industry. He was in central plants looking at boilers and chillers with his dad, who had a mechanical degree when he was like 5 years old, and he's been doing it ever since. just one of the greatest at it. And the guys he recruited when he started, same kind of story. They had all been in this industry for decades, and were considered, still are considered some of the top people in the world when it comes to energy and saving on buildings and utilities. So we know systems and buildings really well. Every single one is unique. The combination, how you use it, the geographic location of weather, all of that, we're coming to try to mold a plan for y'all. And some of that will take time, but some of it we know right off the bat just because of how much we've done. We would start with new controls on everything. I'll be honest, the new controllers aren't what generate the savings. Most people think if you put in a new piece of equipment, that's where it all comes from. For us, that's not the case. A lot of the schools we work with already have brand new control systems in the entire district, and we can still save them a lot of money, because for us, that's not where the savings come from. It's more of a means to an end. So some of the technology I'm going to show you requires a remote connection to the HVAC. The controls you all have right now are mostly non-programmables. They're stats and dials that are on the wall, and so we just couldn't connect our technology to it. So it's a means to an end for us. But I'll tell you, for the ops team, it'll be really nice because they can access everything on their phone, and it's an LCD screen that would sit on the wall. You can set the temperature, you can change the temperature, you can lock it out if it's like a gym or things like that, whatever y'all want to do with them. And probably the only other big thing I'll mention, they're non-proprietary is the biggest thing. These are not our controllers. We don't make them. They're the best non-proprietary controllers out there, which is big because it means you're not locked into anybody. You're not locked into us or any other provider. And like we had one school in East Texas who bought a control system from a company based in Denver, and they didn't realize that meant anytime they needed the controls worked on, they would have to fly someone from Denver to Dallas to drive to East Texas to work on them. And they ripped the whole thing out 12 months later because they were just like, this doesn't work. We got to wait days and pay tens of thousands of dollars. So I tell people, whatever you do, just get non-proprietary because it makes your lives a lot easier. You'll spend a lot less money down the road doing it that way too. HVAC, we're working on every piece. So y'all have 102 out here. And part of what that means is you don't want to just slap a really nice control system on. The units are what actually cool people. They're the ones that actually run. And if you just put a really nice control system on, you could like tune up the engine of a race car. If you don't air up the tires, it's not going very far. You got to work on the units themselves. So we're going to look at every single piece of those and optimize them for relative humidity for school districts, which we work with all the time. for the weather patterns that y'all experience out here, and weather in Texas is crazy. It's nuts. I've lived here pretty much my whole life, and it changes from different parts of Texas. So we realized all of those units come out of the box generic, and so there's a lot of things that you ought to do to optimize them for where they are in their use case. And so we're going to do a lot of that from the very beginning, just working on those units. Humidity, indoor air quality, I already talked about that a lot. Monitor, analyze. I mentioned before, sometimes, we implement really quickly. Like when the team comes out, they'll probably be on site for less than a week doing the majority of this. But one of the things we know is to make people comfortable, you have to look at the data. And you have to look at how buildings respond to weather, because they respond very differently in different weather patterns. And different rooms respond differently. If you've got one with windows facing east, that's different if they're facing west, as far as when it's hot in that space and when you feel it the most. So what we're going to do is, for the first 6 to 12 months, we really want to track, it's going to be like tens of thousands of data points on how every individual space reacts to every weather pattern, different when it's 45 versus 55 versus 65, and even track it down to the minutes per degree it takes to cool or heat every space individually in all of those different weather patterns. And you can make a lot smarter decisions when you track that data and then look at it when you're making your choices. And so it's a huge deal to do that. Everywhere we go, there's some building or space that is uncomfortable. And people say, hey, if it's hot outside, it's hot in my room. Or there's nothing we can do, it's always uncomfortable. Looking at the data and reacting to weather patterns is a huge part of making people just feel better in the spaces. Improvements, I talked about all that. Controls, we do zoning of all the facilities. We also do full weatherization of all the buildings, so trying to reduce the infiltration of outside air. Window seals, door sweeps, those tend to be two of the most common causes of infiltration, but every building is going to get weatherized. One of the biggest things that we're going to do, and this is my last main point really, is called Campus Optimizer. I said before, we've created 300 something technologies. A lot of them are built into this Campus Optimizer, which is a software that you just load on your phone, laptop, tablet, anything like that. What this is going to do is it's going to essentially say, first, how do I make every building and room as comfortable as possible? That's its first question. And then second is, how do we save as much on energy as we can after we've done that? And that order is really important because most people don't really care how much they're saving if they're uncomfortable. And like I said, I've taught in classrooms, like really, we've experienced and seen buildings with 70, 80% relative humidity inside. Nobody's looking at the bill, they're just trying to get cool, they're trying to get warm in that space. And so we want you to be comfortable first, save as much as we can after that. And so what it's going to do is, like right now, y'all are trying to deal with 102 pieces of equipment, trying to manage the temperature and the comfort. I didn't count all the rooms by hand. I just know you got a couple more rooms than you do equipment, so about 120. And I also know you got a couple more events than rooms, because this is an event, teacher in their classroom's an event, someone sitting in their office is an event. Trying to manage this is really hard on its own, let alone how do I reduce electricity consumption? How do I minimize my every single 15-minute peak of the 3,000 for this month? How do I improve relative humidity, indoor air quality? To do this really well, you would have to know the ramp time, so how long it takes for a unit to go from the unoccupied temperature overnight or in the weekend to the occupied temperature before everyone gets there for class on a Monday morning or a Tuesday morning or something. And you would have to know that for every weather pattern in every space individually. You think trying to do the math for all of this one day, and then the next day the weather changes, and you'd have to redo it all again. And we had to do that by hand back in 2009 when we got started, and realized very quickly it doesn't work that good. It's a lot more work than it really should be to manage all of this. And so we started creating this stuff, and so y'all have the different meters with different rate schedules. The short and sweet, this is going to pull in the event calendar so it knows what events are happening where. It's going to pull in the next 7-day weather forecast. It's going to do a 20-level mathematical matrix and then send this plan and every change to every unit out in the district automatically. And it does it every single night. New schedule, new weather pattern, and we'll just push it out to every room and every unit. And I've worked with enough schools to know stuff comes up during the day. You forget to put something on the calendar or a spur of the moment volleyball practice or something. And so you could log onto your phone, tablet, laptop, you'd press 3 buttons and it would do the exact same thing. It would take 60 seconds or less for whoever you give that job to. And this is a big part of what makes the savings. I mean, you think if the whole project was a pie, I know there's a lot of stuff I've already talked about, this is the biggest individual piece, because the control systems, even the best ones in the world, don't take into account these variables. It's why we had to make it, because they just weren't designed to manage weather and rate patterns and all of that stuff. And so it's just something new. People weren't doing wrong stuff before. This is just new technology that didn't exist. That's most of it. We'll document everything. We'll train everyone. We don't have like a limit on training hours. It's just who do you want to know about this stuff, about the controls, about Campus Optimizer. We get some people who ask us to do an in-service. I mean, we come and teach people even how to save energy in their homes if you want us to, because we don't do homes as a company, but we got some pretty good advice on how to do that cheaply. And anything energy related we consult on. New buildings, new HVAC units, LED lighting, rate negotiation. We don't bid for any of that stuff. And so if you just want a third party who gives good advice, we're happy to do that. We saved one school $700,000 on their high school build cost, and it made it more energy efficient. And it's just because we know about that stuff, and we don't get any benefit or cut from that. It's just, trying to put money back into schools is what we do. Talked about pretty much all this. We would send y'all a report every single month where we would just look at your bills from before and after, essentially, and we would adjust for the things that have nothing to do with our project. So weather is one of those. Some summers are hot, some are a lot cooler. We don't make the weather, as much as I wish I could sometimes. We don't choose it, God does that. And if it was much cooler next summer versus the one we're comparing before our project to, that's not fair. That's not apples to apples. You would have saved money whether we came in here or not, because the units wouldn't have had to run as hard. And if I'm being frank, on the flip side, if it's a lot hotter next year, we don't want to be blamed for that either. That has nothing to do with our project. We just want to be accurate. That's our goal. So every month you'd get a report. Y'all would just pay quarterly till the project fee is paid off. And any rebates, Entergy is who's y'all's provider for the longest time, they never had any rebates available, where you would just get extra money from doing our project, essentially. Finally, it looks like they have some. And so we would apply for those. There's no guarantee we'll get them. We're not in charge of that. We just do all the work for it. But if we do, most of that would go to just paying off the project faster. So you would just pay it off even quicker, get all the savings closer down the road. And so that's the gist. And I can just show y'all a couple of quick examples and then I'll be done. This is the first church we ever did. So that's why I put it in here. It's really where we came from. Our heart was Church of the Cross. This was Wes's home church. They were spending just under $100,000. And the pastor was like, we spend more on our utilities than we do on our children's and youth programs combined. He was like, there's got to be something we can do. Like, if you can save us any money, like we'll take it all into account. And we told him 34%, which he thought was a dream. And we saved them over 50% by month 6, just on their bills. That's not humidity, that's not service costs or equipment lasting longer, it's just the bills. White's Chapel, about $10,000 a month. First United Methodist Church saved them about 40%, which they were actually designed to be the most energy efficient building you could have. They gave tours to people because it was like 5 years old. One of their trustees was a big building contractor in Dallas who helped them build the whole facility. So he thought we were nuts when we said 40%, but he was like, hey, it's money back to the church. If you prove me wrong, I'm like, I love that. He's got no issue with it. And we did. They emailed us 2 years later and said, we saved 2 staff positions because of what you guys did. And that's why it matters. Sweeney, we projected 20%, ended up saving them 30. Stockdale, we projected about 40. They were about at that 40. And this was the Daniel Fuller. That was the story I told. Their units lasted 9 years longer. He also said before we started the project, every month they would call HVAC servicers out to work on the units and keep them running 5 to 6 times a month. And after our project, sometimes they could go 2 or 3 months and never call anybody out to work on them just because they ran better and lasted longer. And I don't know how much that saved them, but Franklin struggled with humidity. Their middle school actually sat in the mid 70s for relative humidity, 75% on average. And they had dehumidifiers in every room in that building that they would empty multiple times a day. And still they just said, we don't know what to do. It's not like we're not trying. We don't know what to do anymore. And so the first month we told our team, we don't care about savings. Nobody's comfortable in 75% relative humidity in a building. It's like being outside in Houston, Texas in the summer. It's not a comfortable place to be in. And so in the first 3 weeks, we took them from 75% down to about 45%. And we saved almost nothing. That's the whole district, not just that one building. But it ramped up really quick. We got to the 30s and the 40s and the 50s, and they leveled off at about $25,000 a month and gave staff raises. That's how they use the money. So this is our mission. This is what we do. It's just try to put money back. So I think we could cut your bill down by about $25,000 a year, $500,000 over the next 15. And that's just why we exist. just running through if I missed anything. We work with a bank. With churches, we actually front the entire cost ourselves, but they're a lot smaller than schools, we realized very quickly. And so with all the schools we have a bank that helps us on the financing stream side. What that means for y'all is there's 2 contracts, not one, because there's the one that helps assign the payment stream, and then there's our contract, which lists out everything that we're doing. And so how it works is, y'all know banks, they always have a minimum quarterly payment, and they assume our project's gonna take 8 years. It's funny, we've had this conversation a few times. We've never had a project go longer than 7, and they're like, we don't care. We're just going to assume 8 years. That's our policy. We just do that. So the quarterly payment's a lot lower than the expected savings. It's almost half. But the whole point of this is financially risk-free. So we actually wrote a section in our contract that says if the savings ever don't cover that minimum quarterly payment, we would write the school a check for the difference before they owe anything. So it's coming out of our pocket, not y'all's. And that's just our guarantee to make sure it's risk-free the whole time. We don't usually have to write those, but if we do, we're happy to. I mean, it just means we're fulfilling our agreement, so we're okay with that. That's everything I got. I know that was a lot of info, so I'm curious what kind of questions you'll have after hearing all that.
Farrah, you always have
I'm not doing it. I guess my only concern would be like I love what you're saying. I'm definitely for the comfort aspect, but say that that's not actually happening. We're still locked into this no matter what, like for the 8 years, right? Like if everybody's not comfortable, we're still locked in. That would be my only thing because, like, if you ever been to Lowe's in Beaumont, Texas, they can't turn their own air down and all the things, and it's hot in there, and I don't know why they do that to their customers or their people. But it is a real thing. So, they control their room temperature, is how much of that is, I guess, programmed and what's controllable, and then I don't know.
Yeah,
you even understand what I'm asking. But
I do. Y'all control everything. That would be the first question I asked if I taught your work to you. Like, do I have control over my room that I'm in and all the kids are in? We don't control any of that. We'll give you all recommendations on what we think. And most schools put a range. They don't want people freezing out the units by cooling them to 50 or letting them drift up to 95 during the day or something. So they give them a range that's reasonable for y'all to cool or heat in. But that's still y'all's decision as the school and the administration.
Yeah, for instance, like I had it for 4 or 5 years, and when you came in like on a Tuesday, it was set at like 72, but you could still bump it down to 70 pretty much all day and be comfortable. But with the equipment, it's going to work to take a lot of humidity out of here. So it's kind of like 72 degrees in Texas is a lot different than 72 degrees in Arizona. And so, it'll start to feel different, and you'll be able to sit in a temperature that doesn't, 72 is going to feel cold at some point in time when I know if it's 72 in my office right now, like, or Patty and I are worn out, right? We feel like we're just sweating away. So that's the whole point of trying to get to that.
We had one superintendent, he was like, hey, we're going to set the whole district at 72 and they can bump it up or down a few degrees, except in my office, it's going to be 69 because it gets really warm in there, but everyone else should be okay. And so he started it at 69. We're like, your district, you can do whatever you want. Started it at 69. As we pulled the humidity down, he was like, it's really cold in here. And so he started bumping it up. He got to like 74 because when you manage the humidity, it was too cold at that temperature for him. And so you see, if at a whiteboard I'd draw it, there's like a bell curve of temperature, where people are comfortable. There's always outliers. I promise you we will not make 100% of people comfortable. There may be 1 or 2 of them in here, me included. It's, sometimes you're just always warm or you're always cold. But if you lower the humidity, more people are comfortable in the same range. But still, we're not here every day. We don't pick temperatures.
I'm excited. We need the humidity out of here for all reasons.
Right. It makes a difference.
Humidity right now.
I don't have any questions.
Yeah. Sure. All right. Thank you, Noah. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
So we're gonna vote on doing it now, or we're gonna talk about it, or what's the plan?
I mean, if we don't have any further discussion, we can
Everybody's
vote on
okay
that.
with it?
I'll make a motion.
All right. Motion made by Ms. Shirley, seconded by Mr. Campbell. Is everybody, all in favor of that? Any opposed? Okay. Motion carries.
Then the second one, he's talking about with the bank and.
Yeah.
Question there, what's the interest percent on the bank? I mean, as far as, I know there's gonna be a fee, what's the interest as far as the bank? As far as,
Yeah, so this, the 117 won't change, the interest is built all the way into it, so even if the project took longer, it wouldn't change the price. They have 14.56% of the project price built in, so that's the interest amount over the entire term. So 117, this would be like 5.5 years, so it's about 2.6% per year if you divided it all out. And so like if you paid cash up front, it would be, which most schools can't do, they can't really afford that, but it'd be 14.56% less, so that's kind of what it's built into. It just doesn't stack if you take longer, it'll stay the same.
The good news is the money doesn't come out of our pocket until we start saving, right?
And it comes out of theirs if they don't.
yes.
Bring it to us and then back to the bank, right? So.
That was a good part. Okay.
So I guess you gotta, I think we gotta approve that one too. So versus entertain a motion.
Okay. Okay, we need to entertain a motion to approve the Ideal Impact Payment Plan Agreement as presented.
I'll second.
Motion made by Mr. Campbell, seconded by Ms. Farah. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. Department reports. Sure. Yeah, we can.
I was wondering if you was gonna say anything. I mean, you gotta
Yeah.
speak or something. Came all this way.
Do you need the secretary?
Yes.
She's not here.
He's not here yet.
I think.
She's in, yeah.
Your autograph there, and then I'll have Noah sign there. Yeah, that's.
Oh, you want me on this?
Yeah, that's you on that one. Mr. Cotton, sign.
Oh, like how long?
Got lightning tab right there, sir.
They don't always do it the same week.
Yes, I was gonna have Miss Barrett do that. And Sean, the red tabs are you, brother. Should be 3 of them.
It really is, right? Like, what am I getting myself into?
It's crazy. It took him years to get this where everybody's protected. Yeah, this one.
I don't do that.
That's a lot of people that do that, so sometimes 20, 30.
Do I need to cross out secretary?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want me to write my name below it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And there's a sign above. Need those.
You need to Tony, you need anything there?
Yep, that blue one is.
Hey, Jan, you can give it to your buddy too. Technology party, you can give to your buddy over there. Let's do it.
Noah, you got a pen on you? Put your autograph. Wait a second. Did I give you that?
That's
Yeah.
yours.
That's yours.
Noah, here. I forgot I gave it to Sean. Right there for me.
Hey, if you start sweating.
Hey, Jan.
Oh, yeah.
Any calls for safety security? I just put on there discussion regarding program improvements and your okay better and about what we're gonna do in closed session. Okay. So they asked you to come up.
that we should talk about that, but as far as the actual program,
Yeah.
move that to next month so they can have an upload of that whole. It's way too much to go over.
Okay. That's cool.
What happened? Being involved.
Yeah, I was trying to get him. You know, I'm learning this whole board meeting thing as I go, right? I got a couple of quirks, you know, that I can do to try to be good at it.
Did you grab a?
They're up there.
GovCap just recently wants us to have the superintendent sign the agenda.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's not worth anything.
Man, I know, brother,
Hey, man,
appreciate it.
appreciate it. No, thank you, sir. I don't know if it ever heard fun. Grand Prairie, huh?
I'll see you Monday.
Okay. Good. Wherever you are, sir.
All right, next will be our department reports. First is finance, Ms. Becky.
Yes, sir. You have an attachment in your PowerPoint and sure it's printed out. It's the budget amendment. What that is basically our student activity accounts. We had to roll it. When Marla was here in the beginning of the transition, they changed some account codes and stuff. This was correct for that to get it over into the account codes for now, so that's all student activity accounts. That's what that is about, but I need you guys to approve that so I can move money where it needs to be. Unless you guys have any questions about the checklist that I printed the wrong one for and had to give you a hard copy when you got here, I don't really have anything else. We hate to touch on the compensation plan, and that's really all I got.
Any questions?
Give me 30 seconds. Don't count. I seen something, but it's no biggie. I can find it later if it's, but it was probably on March's. Probably on March's. And that's all I'm gonna say about
With my
that.
notes for April,
Yeah.
so my explanations of what I thought you guys would ask me questions about, so.
I'm good.
All right. We have to get a motion to approve that one. Is that what she said?
Oh, for the.
It's further down, I was just.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. it's
It'll be
for-
later.
no,
I
it's
knew I
just-
didn't see it anywhere. Okay. Next is maintenance and transportation.
Was it up first? Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Hey,
So look.
I spoke with a guy today about seeing about getting some repairs done to our existing bleachers. Parts, whatever needed to make it all safe. I told him I wanted prices on complete bleachers and parts to update what we have. He's supposed to get back with me in a couple of weeks, and hopefully by then I'll have some results for you. As a safety concern, if the locks don't work, somebody could get seriously hurt. And I've seen it where people try to step on them and they all go
Make sure they
in.
put nothing in it.
So
Make sure they put nothing in it. Okay.
I gotta remember who it was in a second.
Bleachers, you're talking gym bleachers.
In the gym,
Not
yes.
the.
yes, in the gym.
You describe to them how, and you may know or you may not know, but the process of what we're doing right now to be able to push the bleachers in.
It is a process. I have to send somebody underneath them to unlock them. It's not safe. Because what's supposed to happen is when you unlock them from the outside, You go to push them in, they're supposed to operate that way, but they don't. So I gotta put somebody underneath it with me on the machine to push them in. It's just not safe. That's the way it's been done for, 3 years since I've been here, so. We need to change it.
Can that be fixed, or is that something we just?
That's what, he's gonna give me, numbers on pieces to replace what we have that's broken. So, go from there. As soon as I find out, I'll have numbers on both ends of it to present.
All right. Good. So, Miss Elizabeth.
Transportation, yeah, there you go.
Custodial is gearing up to do our summer projects for stripping floors. All of our wax and stripper and everything will be here next week. Transportation, we had some repairs. We've had 02, 42, 43, and the ag truck all required repairs. I think all in all, we're under 10 grand on all of them. Let me think, what else? I thought there was something, but I can't think what it is now. I think that's everything. Just everything. We've had to have some repairs. Custodial is going really well. I asked Mr. McCabe, just trust me on one of my hires. I said, I know it's not going to look good, doesn't sound good maybe. Trust me, best hire. Fantastic. Any questions?
Summer help, what are you doing to facilitate?
We gave 10 or 15 applications to Miss Alicia Bell. She made an announcement, kids came and got them. I think there were only 6, or my son was one of the applicants, so I took myself out of that whole situation. Miss Jana and Mr. Dwight are gonna handle all of that. And Miss Jana did interviews, and I don't know anything past that yet.
We will have student help.
We will. It's gonna be students again. Getting our students.
We always hire
I
students.
know. Okay.
You don't want us to do
No,
students?
that's what I'm saying. It's just, is somebody gonna be here to supervise them that they're doing?
Oh, yeah.
Mr.
We all
McCabe will.
agree. Yeah.
Hey, I'll be here. I'm here every day. Every day. I'll be out there at power wash.
He's gonna be on the
Putting
end of
him
pressure
to work,
washer.
so he'll be out there to supervise.
I know Miss Patty said she power washed for 3-day work weeks in the summertime. 3 hours.
So it's
a day.
only open to students to apply? Is that how that is?
That's how it's been traditionally.
Yeah. Okay. I really didn't know. I thought so, but I didn't
Yeah.
know.
I think it started with Michael Smith's 2 sons.
I'm
and
sure
then
it
it's
probably
just-
did.
There's no doubt it did.
And they are a lot of help.
Yeah,
I'll
I'll
say
say
that.
that.
There the things would not get done if we did not have student help.
Or any help. It could
Or
be
any
adult.
help,
Yeah,
right, that's what
no,
I'm
we're not
saying.
against y'all having help for sure.
No,
Yeah.
Because every room has to basically be empty.
Yeah.
There's so much.
And I was saying, when your son was working last summer and he killed it, he did good.
No, mine didn't, not mine. My
Yes.
daughter did 2 summers. She did for 3 summers, but it wasn't last summer.
You might be thinking about Josh Raw.
Yes, Josh killed it. He did great.
Okay,
And
Josh
Charlotte
Austin.
Griffin's son.
Okay, them two is working. I didn't fly by. It's not to look, but I just
No, they did
I go
great.
by and I fly by.
I seen you with your camera.
Yeah. And I'm like, there was 2 that was killing it here.
Yes,
I mean,
ma'am.
it was like, actually, I would've got them snow cone and brought it back. It's like, you got some that's killing it, and you got some that's not killing it.
That happens every year.
I'm just saying.
Every single year.
But some shouldn't have to work.
It gets handled.
On the ag truck, are we out of warranty or whatever? I know we probably are because of mileage or whatever, but okay, I was just curious.
Any other questions? All right, good. Next, cafeteria, Miss Kathy Lofton.
We finished our audit.
Yeah.
You serving enough beans?
Yes, I didn't know. It
What was it?
bread.
Something,
Yeah,
yeah.
we had enough grain.
Grains, yeah, that's what it was.
Yes, it was tough, I mean. We won't be audited again until 30/31.
Wow. You still be here?
Yeah.
Probably not, maybe.
It will
On the
be.
home situation.
Don't say that.
No, I don't think I'll be here.
Yeah.
Okay, but things are going good. We got 7 more days. The kids are being fed and everybody, the ladies are awesome to work with.
They are.
They are
really
awesome, yes. We even got superhero posters, if you go that way,
That's
go
right.
by and look at our superhero. Hannah made us into Slender.
Right? Yeah.
But it's all going good. Budgets. Money.
Yeah.
That's always an issue.
I know it.
Mhm.
I need oven. We got coffee.
Ooh.
Oh.
We'll grill it.
That would be rough.
Yeah.
400 burgers out on the grill.
Sure would taste better though.
He said, we.
But we're doing good.
Good. Thank you. All right, next, IT, Miss Jana.
We're getting ready for end of year things, so we've been pretty busy. I picked up senior Chromebooks today, or most of them, so we're starting that. I will say from implementing I think this is the second year of really accountability with their Chromebooks and everything. We're ending the year with about 40 Chromebook incidents, opposed to about 150. So it has been a great year, knock on wood. They know, and they come in like, are you gonna charge me? I'm like, did you break it? Yeah, so they know, and it's helped a lot. I've had so many, they know that they're gonna be held accountable, so they are definitely taking care of their things. So I have more Chromebooks to last. Other than that, it's end of year, it's busy.
I'll brag on Jana real quick. So, we're restructuring some things, and Miss Corby's been, running through the high school with her, trying to keep up with her head just about all the time, and had to finish up some testing, and kind of leaned on Jana to pick up the end of that testing. And testing on the secondary level is a lot, and I didn't have a conversation with anything, and lo and behold, Jana sends me a message to let me know that next year she'll assume all the testing responsibilities at that high school level. She just stepped up and took it on like that. That's what we want here. We want people that step up and are ready to take more on to be successful and help everybody out. And so we really appreciate that.
Miss Corby was not opposed to giving that back. Yeah, that's another thing too. I should be getting testing results in the next week. So that's always an exciting time to see how well we did. Yeah. I'm the data nerd, so I think I get all excited.
All right, good, thank you. Next is safety. Officer Dan.
Only thing I haven't talked about tonight really relates to the Guardian program. Kind of give y'all backstory on the history of that whole program with West Hardin. It started, it was either 2012 or 2013 when Dr. Carter was here. If y'all remember, I think it made KFDM because that's when we had the red signage out on the front, armed teachers on campus. They come out and they actually did a news interview with them. This is my 4th year here, so it was operated one way prior to me getting here. And when I got here, one of the main things that I looked over is the chief at the time was the one that was overseeing it. And really, the only thing policy-wise, expectation-wise, anything at all that related to the Guardian program was on one piece of paper with about 6 bullet points. And they would look over those bullet points. If you approve, they thought those bullet points were fine, then, you were approved to be a Guardian. And that's all that we had to fall back on. Well, the purpose of the Guardians is to stop the worst possible event that can possibly happen here. And I can tell you from a law enforcement and legal aspect side of things, whether I'm in a courtroom testifying for a minor traffic offense all the way to I've been involved in several homicide trials, the first things that they're going to start asking you and they're going to dig into is, what does your policy say about this? There was no policy. And, you know, after they get done with all the policy questions and whatnot, then they're gonna move into, okay, your policy says this, but what is your practice? How do y'all actually do things? Because the way that it works on the legal side is you might have a policy, but your practice is always gonna trump your policy. You gotta make sure you're doing it right. Well, there's no district policy, you know, like there's no actual school board policy for it. There was no administrative guideline or any policy. Literally everything was just on that bullet point. So if y'all remember here, I want to say Husband's first year, so 2 years ago, that's I got with Texas School Safety Center. They sent me a really good policy from Keene ISD. They're one of the top leaders in the Guardian program, not just in Texas, but throughout the United States. I don't know how many other states practice non-law enforcement personnel carrying, but I can say that we lead the nation on it. And that's what I built our policy off of, and that's what we presented to you a couple of years ago. Now, since that's happened, y'all know how the state's been with safety changes. Fortunately, as far as the Guardians, have been good changes. So there's been some legislative updates and some things that I've changed on it. Was going to present it tonight, but with the serious nature of what it is, we didn't get it uploaded. I don't want to present that or ask for approval or anything without each of you getting a chance to look through it, because I have everything in there as far as suggested district board policy, all the way down to our policy on how we're going to operate, how we select our applicants, what they can be removed for, all their training hours that are expected, not only their training hours, what do they have to be trained in, and their purpose, when they can take action, when they cannot take action, the whole 9 yards on everything. So it's a lot of stuff that y'all are gonna have to look through on that. So just we'll have that ready for you next month. I'm just wanting to give you a heads up on that. In closed session later, me and Mr. McCabe have already gone over one of the things, not just our policy wise, but it is state requirement now, is each year y'all have to approve each member that's on the Guardian team. And we have a couple forms for that. I have some blank copies if y'all want to look over that at some point before y'all sign the actual ones. Really, what's on there, it's 2 different forms. It just goes through kind of, you know, hey, this person's met X, Y, and Z training requirements. They can do this. They'll get a stipend for that. You know, that kind of stuff. It was the same forms that y'all have signed for the past 3 years. So, and that, I mean, if y'all have any questions about it, I can answer for you. But most of it's going to be answered through that whole Guardian program we'll present.
Any questions? Thank you, sir. Next, athletics. Coach Skinner.
Yeah, since the last board meeting, we've kind of wrapped up our spring sports. The day of the last board meeting, we won the district track meet for boys and girls, pretty dominant fashion. We've moved 24 kids on the area meet that following week, and then we had 18 qualify for the regional meet. We took them down to Kingsville 2 weeks ago. Close to getting one kid out to state, but no one advanced, but I had a pretty successful track season this year. Our softball team wrapped up their year. They finished 3rd in district. They made the playoffs. They beat Iola in the first round of the playoffs, and from my understanding, it's the first time in school history. We won the softball games. We're very proud of that. And then if you were at the game, they had a great opportunity in game 1 against Thorndale, and then Thorndale's a really good team. They're winning a lot of games. We're proud of them for that. Even more impressive, they had 6 first-team all-district selections. And 3 second-team all-district selections, and Adley Albritton was Defensive Player of the Year, and that's voted on by all the other coaches in the district for how good of players they think we have. So great year in softball. We had our spring leagues are happening. I think volleyball wrapped up spring league this week. Spring league basketball is going on. We have spring league 7-on-7. We had our athletic booster club on our banquet on Monday night. They were able to provide $500 scholarships for Zaylee Hudspeth and Colton Bracken. And our coaches have been doing a good job getting their inventory back. We have very minimal lost equipment. And we have a process to hold the kids financially responsible for things they have not returned. So we're ahead financially as far as that's concerned. That's pretty good spring for us for sure.
Yeah, we were going to honor the softball team tonight, kind of like when we brought our kids through, with some of our kids being in FFA and everything else. we had an honor breakfast on Wednesday morning where the kids came in. They had a chance to eat, and we sat and talked and had some conversation. Coach Pollock was there. We had some kolaches and donuts and hung out and just told them how cool it was and what a big accomplishment and a big feat that was. And we had a nice picture that we'll get out there on Facebook here probably tomorrow or the next day. We had a nice backdrop from the TIA dinner, and they seemed to be really, understanding how big of an accomplishment it was. So that was pretty fun. So we did that in lieu of bringing them out here tonight because of all the things going on at the secondary level.
Thank you, Coach. Next is curriculum. That'd be you, Miss Williams.
And it's just so I can see Miss Shirley. So it's been busy. We got to celebrate all of our teachers with Teacher Appreciation. I think both campuses did an amazing job of making the teachers feel honored and appreciated that week, and then the district fed on that Thursday. We got to celebrate 3 either retired or retiring teachers, Miss Hughes, Miss Santos, and Miss Whittington. So that's been a recent celebration. We had our first TIA dinner this week. Gosh, it seems like there's so much. I'm like, I don't remember what day it was. But that was amazing. We had a great turnout, and we got to present a big fat check in the amount of $326,009 to our teachers. So that was phenomenal. I think they really enjoyed it. We've gotten a lot of positive feedback from that, so that's been great. Just completed post testing for 2 of our TIA groups, so those were 2 that we had kind of joined this year. Those 2 new groups. And then I just want to put out there that there's been so much cohesiveness going on between the staff and the admin, just working together. I feel like we're so much farther ahead already, preparing for next year than where we've been in the past, and so that's a great feeling. Just knowing that we're already gearing up for next year. We've already got a lot of things in place and ready to roll. So that's a great feeling. So, but that's about it.
All right, thank you.
Any questions?
Next, secondary principal, Miss Landry. That ain't right. Patty?
Hey, that's my fault. I didn't.
I can just sit back down. I'll bring y'all through this, our parent community involvement this month. I'm just a lot worth it at the end of the year. Our teachers and coaches and staff and students are doing a phenomenal job of showcasing all their wonderful talent for our family. I have lost track of the amount of wonderful food I have eaten at various banquets. And thank those of you that were able to stop by the Ag Banquet, FFA Banquet on the way in tonight. They appreciated that so much. They enjoyed seeing that presence. But a phenomenal one-act play performance that was very well attended, and a great band concert that our folks did a wonderful job at. I just get to come and enjoy our kids. Our enrollment's holding strong at 231. Yearly attendance, also I'm not going to run you through all those numbers. I'm just going to let you know, oddly, all our odd number grades are up. All our even number grades are a little bit down. So I'm going to ride Megan's coattails a little bit next year and work on some attendance incentives so that we can work on getting our kiddos here, because we know they learn better when they're here. You have your discipline information. I want to shout out our teachers because we are only up by 11 referrals from the last month. And that's pretty dang impressive in May, because I told y'all in March we were getting a little tired of each other. We're all real tired of each other. So our teachers are doing a great job holding it down, and our kids are awesome too. We've already recognized our special recognition, and everything in the world is happening this month. So I gave you a list of dates and times. Should you like to attend or share that with anybody? Any questions?
Thank you. All right. Elementary.
That for next year. Okay, so same thing. There is so much going on. You're all welcome. I went home and took a shower after today. So I'm not thinking. So we had a great Teacher Appreciation Week that ran all last week. Our PTO did a wonderful job organizing most of that for us, Monday through Wednesday. Huge thank you to our local churches and businesses who either donated or provided meals. That was really great. Our teachers felt loved and appreciated, and just they love not having to plan breakfast and lunch for the whole week. So that was a huge week there. Field day was today. We had a great turnout. The kids had a great time. They were covered in mud and dirt from the tug of war by the end of it, but they had a lot of fun. Thank you to maintenance, athletics for making sure that everything was prepped and ready for us. They had a big time. I put an attachment on the back. Some of these things have already happened. It was just a compilation of what I had made at the beginning of May for all of what we've got coming up. Next Thursday, our PTO is sponsoring a water day for our kiddos. We've got all 4 of our awards going on the very last day of school. PTO puts on a dance for our 6th graders who are bridging into the secondary campus. So all the things going on there. Our enrollment's only down by 1 kiddo who sadly had to go to a different district because of a custody situation. Our attendance is holding solid, which is super, super exciting. We really think that attendance incentive that we started is helping. So far, I've kind of got that at the bottom there. For each day that they've got 97% or better attendance, no early outs, no leaving earlies, they earn a pom-pom. And when they get to an increment of 5, they get some kind of additional prize. So most of them have used that as extra recess time. So we work with their teachers and figure out a time that they get to go out and play on the playground for some extra time. So they really enjoyed that. We've got our discipline numbers there. We're a little up from last month. Ours don't like each other anymore in May than they did in April. We're really trying to kind of crack down on our 4th, 5th, and 6th graders, trying to get them ready to move up to that next grade level, set those expectations high. So a little up there, but nothing too surprising for May. We had our February, March, and April students of the month that were able to make it with us come through this evening. And they really do love getting to come and present that to y'all. I know some of them look a little nervous when they come up, but it means a lot to their parents as well. So just thank y'all for opening that up for us this year. It was our first time to do that. I think it'll be something that we'd like to carry on in the coming school year. So any questions for me?
Thank you. All right, Superintendent.
All right. I'm going to cover 11 too. That way, let's go back to that. But all right. First off, we're in May, so we're at the end of the school year, and it's hard to believe that I've made it through the end of the school year. It's like a first year of just doing everything over again and learning new. But it's been successful, not because of me, but because of everybody that we see in this room, and the jobs that they want to continue to do day in and day out, and that cohesive unit that's been brought together. We can start to see people feeding off each other, and this synergic energy that's coming through, that people want to be better for other people. And that's a wonderful thing to see. That's a wonderful thing to be a part of when we see 2 campus principals working with each other to bring that culture and climate up together. We see coaches going out of their way to not be afraid to help out with their little kids, or being afraid to get on a bus and drive a trip, or do something like that, no matter what it takes, because we want to make sure that we're taking care of our own, and building that capacity in everybody else as our neighbor and somebody that we can really rely on. So I'm super, super grateful for that. I've been going to Region 5 every month. We go to our superintendent meetings. I go to this rookie superintendent meeting for an hour, and this conversation was about the board. Okay, and the first word that comes to mind, especially with the ones that have been in that position, is stress when it comes to the board. And I'm hearing people talk and all these things, and I just sit back and I'm very quiet, because I couldn't be more grateful to have the board that we do, right? Because I think that we talk, we ask a lot of questions, we have a lot of constructive conversations, but in not 1 minute do I feel like I'm ever stressed. Do I feel like that I'm ever, put in a situation where I feel like that we're dealing with personal bias or agendas? And I think that is a huge testament to what we're doing in the hallways and really bringing West Hardin and everything that's about West Hardin to the forefront, because it's about our kids and the success that we're going to have in the future. So I'm super excited to be a part of it, and just very proud to be a part of you guys and what you're choosing to do. So thank you. Want to talk about number 11, discussion peace officer roles and responsibilities. It's not an action item. Dan and I sat down this past week, or maybe last week, and we pretty much rolled out as day to day what it looks like. You guys are more than welcome to look at that. If you ever have any questions about it, or you want to add anything to it, I think I sent it in one of our Oiler updates as well once we were done. But really excited and very proud of Dan and the initiative that he's taken in a lot of things that we're doing. He's just getting better, as we can be. And other than that, some events. We have our 8th grade goes on a ceremonious trip every year to commemorate the transition from 8th grade to 9th grade. This year we are going to Lake Livingston State Park. If you go for an educational trip, you can go for free. So that's kind of awesome. So we're going to take a bus, 40 kids. We're going to have fishing lessons. We're probably going to have some athletic events, things of that nature. Have some cooking lessons with burgers and hot dogs, and have a great day. And we'll make our way back towards the end of the day. But that's going to be a really neat thing as well.
You gonna bring the nurse?
Gonna bring the nurse? Hey, I got one left in me. I can tell you that much. And then just getting ready for the end of the year. You have graduation. We hope to see everybody there. I think that Miss Bailey's been sending out some emails about handing out diplomas, things like that. But again, grateful is the word that I have, and that's about it. That's about it.
All right, thank you. All right, next is the consider the October 8th through 11th, 2026 Texas EdCon in Houston.
Oh, yeah. So what I did is I gave you both dates. This year we're going to go on a trip. We're going to go to a board training, either one in October that's in Houston or the one that's in Galveston. I've heard some talk about Galveston, so these are just two to think about. And we'll make sure as we get closer that we make preparations and have a little bit more conversations about that. But I wanted you to keep those dates in mind.
All right.
Do we know when homecoming is next year yet?
We're gonna have a meeting, this coming week, but the week after, with everybody involved to set those dates.
Okay. That's the only thing. It's usually in October, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it can be sometimes. That'd be the only thing that might conflict.
Gotcha.
All right. Next, the winter conference. Also,
Oh, yeah. So those are the two dates that the Tex Ed Con, which is October 8th through 11th, and then the winter conference, it's in Galveston. They call it winter, but it's March 3rd through 6th. So,
yeah.
I heard that one's kind of, I think it'd be more our kind of style and personality, but, that's just me. So,
Galveston.
Yeah.
All right. Next is the budget amendment.
It's just that,
Ms. Bacon, the one you had presented. Okay, we need to entertain a motion to approve the amendment as presented.
Make a motion.
Second.
All right, motion made by Mr. Michael, seconded by Ms. Farah. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Next, action to consider the BPA request for district funds to go to nationals. Ms. Luter?
So, Ms. Luter,
She's not here.
we had gone to nationals already, right? So, okay, so I'm just gonna own this one. This is a rookie thing, all right? When we go to nationals, we go out of state, we do that. We're supposed to get board approval to go and do that, so I'm asking for your forgiveness because we went. Yeah, so.
And had a lovely experience. Thank you very much.
They did, right? And so hopefully you'll approve it. If not, I don't know, but I'll make sure to do it better next time around. We do something like that. Probably, I think so. Probably so. May come out of lunch count. We'll see.
That'll be a payroll deduct. All right. So we need a motion to approve the BPA trip to nationals.
For 2026.
Yeah.
Yes.
That already happened.
The one that already happened.
Retroactive.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion made by
Thank
Michael,
y'all.
seconded by Ms. Shirley. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried.
Then we already talked.
We
about
already
that one.
done that one, yeah. Okay. The 26-27 compensation plan.
Yes, sir. So we kind of went over that at length. We had our little board workshop on Tuesday. You all had your PowerPoint, your printout. We had several different discussions and several points brought up, but what we're doing to you is we're presenting the salary schedule as presented. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer those. Or
You all got the updated.
I didn't look at it yet, but yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Like I saw the number.
Any questions?
It ain't a question.
Comments?
statement.
No, it's not a comment.
What is it?
I gotta find it again.
Okay.
Just wanna know if this is a misprint.
What you got?
And it's not a closed session, but I just can't. Is that a misprint?
No, it is not. No, it is not. No, it is not. But, you know.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, like we said, you know, we
That's okay.
the hand that we're dealt with, and then we continue to move forward and make those decisions as forward. So
That will be discussed shortly in closed session.
I was sick, by the way. I didn't get to make
That's right.
you did. I was so sad that
That's
you
the
were.
reason I didn't have the answers.
So it would have been like what we changed from the other night would have
Yes.
been 218 roughly, and because of that one other change, that's what brought it down to 103.
Yes.
Okay.
It's still a savings though. Pointing that out.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure like I was
Yeah.
understanding the
Yeah.
change correctly.
Not increase, we decrease and save. So that's a big deal.
All right, well, we need a motion to approve the compensation plan for 26-27.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Michael, seconded by Bobby Joe. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?